Eric Sabatini, mortgage agent, here with your Monday Mortgage Scoop again. So I want you to get that popcorn out and enjoy this one. To buy or to rent, the age-old question. When times are tough, when the housing market is rough, the rates are high, savings are low and depleting, this question, to buy or to rent, is asked more and more and more. And there is a growing school of thought that renting is the cheaper and safer play. So today I want to dive into why home ownership still very much matters. Home ownership is the primary method of accumulating wealth in Canada, with nearly 50% of the household wealth amassed over the past 30 years driven by residential real estate alone. At the same time, however, we are bombarded with the sentiment that home ownership has never been less accessible. Almost 70% of Canadian households can't afford to purchase a home based on earned income alone now. But here's the kicker. According to a recent article by RBC Point Proof, where lots of this info is coming from, Canadian renters are devoting a greater share of their take-home pay to housing costs, much more than homeowners. Many renters may not be able to enter the housing market with the limited scope to save for a down payment. As a group, renters typically spend more than they earn. So what's the takeaway here? Canadian renters are getting squeezed more than homeowners, making home ownership an even more distant dream. This threatens renters' path to accumulating wealth, which could further exacerbate inequalities over that long term. So this is one reason why homeownership still matters now. And I want to dive into this more. Check out these two charts. Homeowners saw their net worth grow from 9 times household disposable income to 13 times since the fourth quarter of 2010. For renters, appreciation has been a fraction of that magnitude. Renters' net worth grew from 3 times to 3.5 times over that exact same time period. And there were bumps and valleys and everything along the way. Now, check out this data. Both renters and homeowners have been impacted by higher housing costs in recent years. But renters are being squeezed to a greater extent because they have lower household incomes on average. Also, in 2022, renters devoted 29% of their after-tax earnings to housing compared to 21% for homeowners, who are accumulating savings over this time period in the form of home equity through these allocations. So lower earnings, higher allocations to housing make it exceptionally difficult for renters to even begin to save for a down payment, which is obviously a crucial step in the path towards wealth accumulation. And now check out this final chart. Again, home ownership still matters, okay? The purchase of a first home, it used to be a rite of passage that came with building a family, but now home ownership is more likely to be associated with an inheritance or a transfer of wealth from previous generations. So since 2010, homeowners' real estate assets have grown 4 times faster than life insurance and pension savings. Home equity has largely been viewed as a nest egg to fall back on. But with access to home ownership more and more constrained, some Canadians may not reach their savings goals in the absence of alternative vehicles for wealth accumulation. So again, getting that home, getting into it now can help you save. But the risk, this risk is that it could lead to further inequalities between renters and homeowners. And it is a reason why home ownership needs to be addressed. So if you're considering this question of buying or renting, if you're a real estate professional working with clients, it's important to share some of this information so people recognize the long-term risks of renting by considering the historical significance of this information. RBC's Point Proof, this article, this journal is well researched. It's a benchmark in the industry for peer-reviewed statistics. The data speaks for itself, and it can really help those researching the pros and cons of buying versus renting to build their education in order to make the most informed decision for their specific or unique situations.